Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Big Bad Bench. Today, we're going to be working on some more Macintosh 2 stuff. Happy Macintosh, there. Happy Marcintosh, everybody. Good to see y'all. Oh, and in the chat already, we got Everything is Broken Garage, Dave's Vintage Apple Tech, and Vic the Vicar, and Garth Beagle. How's everybody doing this morning or afternoon, whatever time it is? So let's get started here. So last week, oh, and Epictronics is here. Epictronics is celebrating Macintosh as well, so make sure to check out his videos. Doing some good stuff on Mac Pluses. So Ryan, Everything is Broken Garage. You might want to go check out his videos. So yeah, last week on the stream, how's it doing? It's whiskey time, man. You get started early. Oh, you're probably over in Europe or something. All right, and JVHS is here. So last week I did some work on this Macintosh 2 and the Macintosh IIx, and I recapped the 2x board, and it didn't do a whole heck of a lot. We'll talk about the 2x board momentarily, but first let's talk about the Macintosh 2 board that I have up here. So this thing was in pretty rough shape when we took it out of the system last week. So much so that I didn't want to work on it last week. I thought there was too much corrosion. So this thing got a bath in the ultrasonic cleaner, and basically what I found was a lot of corroded traces, a few broken traces, and so to facilitate things, I fixed one of the broken traces. We'll look at it in the microscope momentarily, but basically I fixed that trace already. But we have other traces over here. And so basically, if you look around this board, anywhere where you see shininess is places where I've kind of gone over it and checked the traces. So down there's some nasty traces. I already did the caps on this board just to make things go a little bit faster. I should say I did most of the caps already. I realized just now that I missed this one. So let's pop a cap on that. We'll fix... There's at least one bad trace here. We'll have to figure out how many there are. But yeah, let's see. We haven't tried this board yet, so I'm looking forward to seeing if this does anything. So let's get under the microscope and start checking this mess out. All right, so Garth Beagle, you were not subbed to Epictronics? Oh my god, that's the most offensive thing I've heard you ever say. All right, so what do we got here? We got a cap that's missing. Let's see. All the caps on this board are 47 microfarad, 16 volt, except for one. All the SMD caps anyway. So it's a pretty easy recap job, and there aren't a ton. So let's do this one real quick. Oh, there's been so much good Macintosh stuff happening. If you're a fan of enthusiasm from fixing computers, I highly recommend watching the archive of Steve's stream, Mac84's stream the other night, when he was working on his set-top box. The pure enthusiasm that came out of Steve during that stream when that thing turned on, it was beautiful. I got fuzzies. Oh my gosh. So yeah, this board got an ultrasonic bath, but I've done a lot to it, and it's probably going to need another one before I'm done. Alright, so again, I've done a lot of recapping on this channel. So I like to tin one lead and then melt it and let that sit down on it, and then come back and do the next one, the other side. And also, I have no depth perception in my microscope, so I do weird stuff every once in a while. Come on. There we go. All right. And let's come back in, put a little bit more on that one. All right, and let's just double check. I haven't checked those leads to make sure they were not broken, I think. Because normally I would have soldered. Okay. Beep. Beep. All right. Thanks for posting that, Garth. Yeah, Steve's, when that thing started working, it was one of my favorite. It like ranked up there with his 840 AV booting. Exactly, Vic. That's exactly how I feel. I don't know. I'm sort of a subdued kind of person, so my enthusiasm probably doesn't ever get that high, but on the inside, I feel it. Alright. I just saw something weird here. I think this is fine, but let's just double check this. Where is this trace? There. That one's good. Okay, yeah. So this, you can tell, is a very angry trace. None of that's working. Okay, so we got to do that, but if we follow this trace across here, it's bad there, it's bad there, it's bad there. So I think what we're going to do, so I do a couple different things when I repair bad traces, and there's probably some people that'll yell at me. Let's go to our scene, and so one of the things I'll do is if it's just a little trace and I'm not going to go very far, I like to just use chunks of Ethernet cable or the strands from inside of Ethernet cable. It's typically nice copper, so it's going to work well. When I go longer distances, I kind of worry about potentially, shorting out some of it. So for this stuff, I'll be using 34 gauge enameled wire. It's single mid-nom. I don't know what that means. But basically, I like to just kind of straighten it with my fingers before I start using it. And then we'll go in and we'll start adding it to the board. Yeah, so we're going to run a bodge all the way across that bad lead, bad trace. All right, so that we're going to go from over here, and I probably don't need to add flux onto this bad boy, but I'm gonna. Basically, I'm going to I don't need to solder it down in the middle here, but it'll just kind of help it stay put. So I'm going to add some solder there. And then we'll come down. Oh, I just saw another bad spot potentially. Okay. Everyone remind me to look at the other bad spot. Oh gosh. There we go. Okay. So now we'll come back down here. Start on this side. We got our enameled wire. You just got to give this a second to burn off the enamel. And this is the kind of thing that I'm really bad at doing on stream. Because even after doing this for a year, I still get nervous about being on stream. So I'm gonna be a little shaky. Hey, and Adam's here. Alright, so in the middle here we're gonna add another little hit of solder, even though we don't really need to. Or we're gonna solder it down right there. Okay, so that's touching down there. I'm gonna set my soldering iron down and figure out where we're going down here. And we need to go all the way down to this corner. I'm gonna snip that. Alrighty. Oh, nice, Adam. Gotta love a good shipper. Hopefully it was a good shipper. Or, well, good or lucky. It doesn't really matter, I guess. Oh, no. That was not the right location. Okay, here we go. A little more solder on there, a little more flux. Oh, nice. Oh, I'm making a mess out of this one. I told you. Told you I'd make a mess on stream. There we go. Oof. Making a mess, y'all. Come here, you little solder ball. There we go. Alright, so let's see if this thing actually made connection after that mess. What part of New Jersey is it in, JVHS? And what is it that you want to buy? A bunch of us might be in New Jersey in, what is it, a month and a half? Alright, folks, what do you think? So we're starting off with the 2 board, Adam. Because last week I didn't try that one at all on stream. Or, well, I didn't try it at all. Alright, so that trace is good. I'm going to check the ones adjacent to it. Okay. Alright, so the rest of these are good. Hey, Bacchus, how's it going? I'm sorry I missed you up there. A Commodore PET? Yeah, no, that thing would cost, what, $600 to ship down to you? Alright, so somewhere over here, there it is. I saw something I didn't like. I thought I had already found the places I didn't like. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. All right. So I think that's good. I'm just gonna do a quick coating of solder on there, sort of mark for myself that I've looked at it already. We'll come back and we'll actually test it. Alrighty, so I think that's probably good. Let's double check. Yeah, this is the region that I asked you to remind me of. I think it's good though. That's good. That's good. Okay, so there's like 600,000 traces on this board. I'm sure there's got to be at least one that's dead. All right, so I think that's most of the bad stuff. So let's try to power this thing up. Ooh, and Eric's Edge is here. How's it going, Eric? All right, so let's switch back to this. And we got this. Got our board. As Adam pointed out last week, both of my 2 and my 2X are missing the math coprocessors. So if anyone has a lead on some reasonably priced 68881s and 688.2s, please let me know. I'd love to purchase some. Okay, what else do we got? Okay, so we need some RAM. Again, the nice thing about this board is that the SIM sockets were absolutely perfect, which is great. These plastic SIM sockets I always worry about. And this. These feel really good for plastic ones. Should we get cocky and actually put in batteries to try to boot this the right way? I was hoping to have a little care package from blah blah blah. Ron's computer videos designed a little board that lets you put 2 batteries on a little PCB, 2 2032s on a little PCB. And he's sending me a couple, but they haven't arrived yet. I was hoping to have them before today, but it's all right. And I need a knife. Sorry. Oh, neat. That sounds like a fun course to take, Eric. All right, let's see here. So the reason I'm doing this, if you're not familiar with the Macintosh II and 2X, and I think also the 2FX is the same way, the system won't power on with the power switch unless you have batteries installed. It uses the battery as part of the power on circuit. These power on circuits are kind of ridiculous. Some of the chips over here are the same that were in the 2CI that I was working on a while ago. So it was kind of nice to see an old friend, but not really. All right, so we got some batteries on there. This power supply tested good last week. So hopefully it still tests good. Alright, we're going to turn that on, turn that on. Oh, it just turned on. That's not good. Don't want it to turn on before we're ready. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. I guess that it's doing something is good. Okay, our video card. It works too well indeed, Garth. Alright, so sorry we're going to lose our flying toasters. Alright. Power switch on. Is that everything we need? Ho ho! We got chime. Sweet! And it powered up itself, so that means this whole mess over here is working. That's awesome. Whew. That's sexy. Yeah, 2X. Or 2. This is the 2. Sorry. Let's see what happens here. Alright, we got flashing question mark. So is this going to work? Yeah, power switch works. It's a little gummy. I'll have to put some deoxide in there. Let's see if this thing will boot. So we've got our blue SCSI here. Do these work correctly without an FPU? Uh-oh. That's a good question. I know my 2X was not happy last week. Chime. Look at this thing turning on like a computer. So this should be system 7.0, I think. Oh. Yeah, this is the same error message that I was getting with the 2X. Let's switch this. So this bad F-line instruction is the same error that I was getting with the 2X. Let's try system 6. So this is that. So I checked to see if this was a bad OS install this morning, and I booted this blue SCSI up with this SD card on my 2SI, and it worked fine. Alright, so let's try the system 6. Yep, this is the same thing it did on the 2X board too. So, yeah. See how System 6 is like blinking like this? So I don't know. It seems like there's something I'm missing here. It's kind of weird that the error is the same between the two systems. So let's try something else. Let's get rid of this. Hit the programmer switch. Okay, let's try that. Oh, that was the reset. Sorry. So SW3 is the reset. We got a cursor. When I hit the programmer switch, it does that. I don't know what that means. Hit G. Now I need a keyboard installed? Jeez, Garth, what do you think I am here? Like a computer person? Alright, hold on. Let me plug in a keyboard. Let's get stupid and just plug in a mouse too. Okay, so we got our flashy flash. Here's our programmer switch. And it says G. And so I hit G. And it's doing that. Alright. So this is what it's doing. Oh, yeah, I want to try a floppy disk. Let's go back to here. Just in case there's something weird, like maybe with the SCSI controller. I don't know. Try it with an FPU installed. Well, yeah, that would be great if I had an FPU for one of these things. Like I said, if anyone has a lead on a 68881 and a 68882, let me know. Huh, Vic, that's a really good point. This is the same video card I was using between the two, and this video card worked fine in the 2SI, but I haven't tried it. I haven't tried another video card. Where are my other Mac 2 video cards? I have no idea. All right, let's try a floppy disk. So check this out. I found this week in a pile of stuff that somebody was throwing away. It's always cool to have new floppy holders. But look what was in this floppy holder. System 7.5 on floppies. Nice. And actually I tested this and it boots up in another system. And also it says Victor. So maybe this is your floppy thing. If anyone knows what elastic reality is, if that needs to get archived and put on the garden, we have Norton Utilities for Macintosh. I don't know. Some HP stuff. Silver Scan, plug-in modules, and Apple compatible scanner driver. So from a Lacey scanner. If anyone needs this stuff, let me know. I'll check to see if it's already archived. This booted in the 2SI. So let's see what happens here. Oh. Wonder if... Oh, it's trying to boot. There it goes. Oh. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, look at this. Floating point coprocessor not installed. Could it really? Could a 2 and 2X really require a math coprocessor? Let's try the thing with the shift. No, you get back in there, floppy. So I'm booting this time with shift held down. Extensions off. Yeah. I'm wondering if because these systems came with a coprocessor installed, maybe there's some weird requirement that they actually have them. Huh. This is wild. All right, so let's get rid of this thing. We'll eject our floppy. Okay, alrighty. Well, so that's that. So that's something else. So I mean, the other thing I did last week was, I mean, I tried a ton of RAM. So I have lots of 30-pin sims around here. So like, I mean, I have parity, non-parity, every sim I have, I tried in this thing, and it did not work. The other thing from last week is that one of the power supplies worked other power supply did not. And so on Dave's stream, I took them apart and checked it out. There's caps in here that, I don't know, they remind me a lot of the 2SI caps. So I forgot to order them last week, but I did replace some of the caps that I already had in stock. So I wanted to check and see if this thing turns on yet. This one was totally dead last week. So let's test our power supply. Thanks, Garth. Be sure to hit that like button because, you know, everyone loves computers that don't boot. Okay, so let's try this thing. No smoke? No smoke yet, anyway. Oh. Okay. It turned on. Listen to that fan. Oh my god. That thing is ugly. Or sounds ugly. Okay. So that power supply kind of worked. Whew. That's gonna need some tweaking though. But I think I do want to get some of some of those caps. Okay. So we have a kind of working power supply. It's loud as... Oh, your 2X's power supply sounds like this. Well, I blame Sony. I am not having a happy relationship with Sony power supplies and old Macs. I'm not a fan. All right. Let's check out the 2X board. So is there anything else we should do to the 2 board? Feels like we've done everything we can for now. Let's unplug this. Alright, so actually, yeah, I'm going to pop out the batteries. Oh, make sure to shut these things off if you have one of the switchable types. Okay, so 2X. Wow. All right, I'm super stoked that 2 is working at least, or at least booting up to a certain extent. Go over to our 2X board. Pop in batteries real quick. Again, this system, well, actually, when I got this system, it had been missing both the CPU and the FPU. I had picked up a CPU for it at some point. Okay, battery there. So this one theoretically should work. I haven't done anything to it since last week except for, well, I did replace this because these little 10 microfarad caps that were on there, they were a little leaky, so I cleaned that up a little bit. Okay. Power supply. Let's try this floppy in this system. Make sure that's on. Make sure that's on. Gotta plug this in. Let's do keyboard and mouse since I'm pretty sure this should boot right up. Yep, chime. Booting from floppy. System error occurred. Floating point coprocessor not installed. Same freaking message. Let's try this thing. Yep. So I, that time was holding down the shift key. So that is really interesting. I've never heard. I mean, maybe there's something. No. So I was gonna say maybe there's something in the ROM that's looking for the math coprocessor. But one of the other problems I ran into. Rudy's Retro Intel's here. How's it going, Rudy? So this is actually the ROM that was in this logic board. It seems to be dead. So I pulled the ROM out of my SE30 and put it in here because they're supposed to be the exact same ROM. So if the ROM was looking for a math coprocessor, the SE30 would also have a booting issue because the SE30 doesn't have a math coprocessor, right? So that would mean to me that the it can't be in the ROM. I mean, like, what the heck, man? This is interesting. So that kind of makes what I want to do today a little bit. I mean, we've been going for close to 40 minutes now, but there is one more thing I'd like to do today. Because the SE30 does have an FPU standard, so maybe it is in the ROM. That's interesting. So, so I need a 68881, I need a 68882, and I need a ROM. So I might just wind up buying like a Rominator 2 or something. But if anyone has a lead on any of those for cheap, let me know. I could definitely use them. Oh, it's a retro techie. Don't you have like a stream to just leave a computer going without you actually doing anything to be at? Oh, sorry. No, that's rude. So does the SE30 have a socketed FPU? Let me check. I'll be right back. Unfortunately, no. There's our coprocessor. Yep. So I have no PGA format math coprocessors. I have, I have the ones that go in the other type of socket. So that sucks. But let's try something else. Let's do something silly because I got a monitor and I have a feeling it's gonna explode when we plug it in. So let's try this monitor. Let's see if it explodes when we plug it in. Oh, grats, Retro Techie. So, yeah, maybe it's something with you Canadians. All right, what'd you find me, Jeremy? How much is this? $30. Come on, that's too expensive for a math coprocessor. Seriously? Crap. The things I do for this stupid hobby. Okay, so let's get rid of this off the big bad bench. And we're gonna plug this back into the 2SI. And let's get rid of this from the big bad bench. Alright, so don't buy any Pentium 4 systems. What's wrong with you? Pentium 4 systems are like e-waste. Like, people should be paying you to get rid of Pentium 4 systems. Okay, so let's shut the 2SI down. Oh, I forgot how gross this thing was. I actually did a very quick cleaning of it before. Oh, this thing is so bad. Let's see here. We gotta zoom out a little bit. So yeah, this thing, look at it, like all the mold stains. Like it could still be mold. I only clean this thing off with Windex, so it's gonna need a full disassembly. So I bought this and a PowerMax 6500 from somebody. Gross. And they were both totally covered in mold. So yeah, they... IPA stat. This thing needs to be totally disassembled and bleached with real bleach. Not talking like retro bright bleach. Well, it needs the retro bright bleach too, but this thing needs real for real bleach. Yeah, I'll make a culture and stick it in the freezer. Oh. Already something I found. So stud broken off in there. Oh, that just fell off into the twisting nether. Never to be heard from again. I didn't have a cable for one of these. How embarrassing is that? Alright, we'll leave this centered for the time being because if it catches fire, we want to be able to see it clearly. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Ooh. It made a bleh. Oh. Holy crap, it's working. Alright, watch your eyes, folks. I'm gonna move my... Oh, 1 second. Let me clean this off. I was expecting it to go on fire. So, let's clean this off real quick so you can actually see the screen. Oh, shit. Alright, Sorry. All right, real quick. Gonna move the camera. Joop. Don't look bad. All right, so I'm gonna power that off. All right, so back up. Sorry, folks, don't need to see my gut. So this is what is this one? Apple Color High Resolution RGB Monitor, model number M1297. Cool. Well, I'm glad that works because I don't have any other Apple monitors. So this is going to be my first real Apple monitor. Well, I have one on my Apple IIgs, but that's not quite the same. So this is a perfect monitor to pair with the 2X. So I'm super excited to get the get this thing disassembled, and I guess we could. No, let's not disassemble it yet. I still need to figure out my late winter, early spring retro brighting technique. But yeah, this thing needs to get torn down. A Disney Princess CRT. Oh no, I'm thinking of the Barbie ones that go with like the Hot Wheels one. I wouldn't mind one of those, but they weren't Apple CRTs. All right, well, crap. So I think this week I'm gonna have to hunt down. I think these are 640 by 480 only. So yeah, this week I'm gonna hunt down some FPUs, and we'll end this stream here. I appreciate everyone coming by today. So Garth Beagle, Vic the Vicar, Rudy's Retro Intel, Adam McGee, Dave's Vintage Dave's Vintage Apple Tech, JVHS, Jeremy's Vintage Hillbilly Shack, Bacchus, Eric's Edge. Wow, there was a bunch of people here today. Epictronics was here too. I'm sorry if I'm missing anyone. Oh yeah, Everything is Broken Garage. I think that's everybody. So yeah. Well, we got some stuff working. And hopefully, and Retro Techie was here. Yeah, he's always here. I'm kidding, Retro Techie. Thank you for being here. We'll be back at it next week and do some more stuff. Thank you all for being here, and have a lovely weekend. And check out Dave's stream tomorrow. I'm hoping to be there, but I'm not totally sure if I'll be able to make it. But definitely go check out Dave's stream tomorrow at 11. Have a good day, y'all.